every day we hear great things about infrastructure and the gigabit and all this fiber to the home stuff. Well, the reality is that was built literally amplifier by amplifier decades and decades ago. And what we're seeing today really is the result of many, many years of work and by a lot of pioneers. And I'm very proud and pleased to be with Jerry Laufer, one of my favorite bosses of all time. I've been very fortunate to have some great guys to work with, and Jerry is one of those great guys, and we're catching up with him. Jerry started in the industry in 1960, so you go back to the days before, when the tubes meant tubes, right?
That's
so
right.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got into the business?
Well, when I got out of the Air Force in 1960, we went back home to Eugene, Oregon, and Christine's father knew the guy that ran a television store, and he knew that I repaired televisions, so he sent me down there to talk to his friend, and I got a job repairing televisions. And it was called A-Bar Television, or A-Bar TV, I guess it was. Well, they also had a cable system in Eugene, and it was 5 channels, channel 2 through 6, and what we call a low-band system, and it was all tubes, and that's the way it was.
And one of the first things you did is figure out a way to upgrade that to double the capacity, right?
Yeah, actually it was Bill Elkins' idea. You know, he was reading the books. I wasn't keeping up on what was going on in the cable television business. I was just in the television business itself, and he sort of took me in under his wing and wanted me to build amplifiers, or we decided we could build amplifiers. We did a lot of talking and playing around, and we started building amplifiers. And there were high band amplifiers that we bridged low band amplifiers with in order to add additional channels to the cable system. And it didn't work out super good because the cable was bad on the higher frequencies and other problems that we ran into. Noise, the amplifiers didn't cascade as well as we thought they did. We didn't understand the cascade situation when we were designing the amplifiers. So,
And we'll go back to that in a moment, the whole cascade thing. You've got an interesting story about that. But the whole idea of building these, you literally built these with sheet metal and...
That's right. Yeah, we bought sheet metal and cut it up and punched holes in it and bent it into chassis and mounted tube sockets on it so we could plug tubes into it, and a power supply, a power transformer, plugged into 110 volts to power it, and connectors on it to connect, we put F connectors on it. We had F connectors in, and that's all there was to it.
And so this really was one of those early systems where the idea was to help kind of drive TV sales, right?
That's right. That's right. It was a television. That was their big deal, was selling television sets, and they also had a cable system. Because Eugene is a long ways from Portland, we're over 100 miles, so the Portland signals were very difficult to get. You had to have a big antenna and everything, so it's a cable system that could add those Portland channels was good.